Welcome everyone to ACIM Daily Lesson 8 today. So it's been an interesting week looking at everything around me and recognizing how my thoughts color everything that I see, I must say. But today, let's just begin right where we are and take a deep breath. And one more deep breath, just releasing it with a sigh. Turning within. We follow our breath. Feel that beating of our heart. A little deeper still, to a door that swings open so easily to reveal the brilliant light that is the truth of who and whose we are. As we allow this light to shine so brilliantly within us, we recognize this is the place of oneness. That from this place of light, we are one with everything that is, and so one with God. And from this place of light, of union, of communion, of oneness, there is a sense of gathering together to look deeply into these lessons that direct us home. And with so much gratitude in my heart for this Zoom technology, for bringing us together, for YouTube, for joining us with so many others who in fact are all one with us. With so much gratitude for the gifts from God, the gifts that provide us with everything we could possibly need. I release all of this into the loving energy of the divine, knowing it is so, it is done. And I let it be, as together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
So today we are moving into lesson 8, and we are really having the opportunity to look at all of these thoughts that color everything in our mind. And today we look at my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So we looked at all the things around us and recognized that they don't mean anything. I've given them all the meaning that they have, that I'm seeing only the past in everything that I look at around me. If I like purple lamps, it's because of my past conditioning. If I hate purple lamps, it's because of my past conditioning. So this recognition that everything is a reflection of the past, and that my judgment of everything as good or bad or hot or cold all has to do with the past. And it's interesting, when we look at it like that, we realize we're actually squandering the present, looking at everything in this present moment through eyes that are colored by the past, and projecting everything that we have judged out into the future. What if? And spending very little time in the present moment. So these next few lessons, this last few lessons and the next few lessons are just bringing home to us the idea of the past and the future, and the difference between being here in the present moment, and that this is where God is. This is where infinity lies. It's always now. As Eckhart Tolle says, if you went into the forest and asked an owl what time it was, he would think you were crazy. It's now, of course. So I am so quick to throw away the present, the now, where
Yes.
I'm at peace, and to constantly be judging everything through this filter of the past. And this is not where my peace lies. This is not where my happiness lies. And I seem to spend an inordinate amount of time there.
And
And as
actually,
I'm aware, once you know something, you can't unknow it.
yes. And when one is in the past and in the future, the mind is really blank.
Yes, because
Really
we
blank.
don't know what's going to happen in the future. And everything we see in the past is only from our tiny perspective. So we're not really seeing anything as it actually occurred or will occur. And then I spend very little time in this present moment where everything is exactly as it is.
And when I anchor into the present moment, Amy, life is so rich.
Mhm.
I'm open to what's happening, the senses, the smells, the details, the colors. It's rich. My life is rich in the present moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so why wouldn't I spend more time? There's the question. If life is so much rich in the present moment, and my mind is blank when it's in the past or the future, why wouldn't I spend more time there? So it's all about, as we talk about, the untrained mind, which our dear Ernest Holmes talk about. The mind goes willy-nilly all the time, and how a trained mind is so powerful. So yes, let's get into this lesson, Miss Ilse.
Okay, lesson 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot, in fact, understand anything.
Why don't you read 2 paragraphs? We'll do 2 paragraphs each.
The one wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it's not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this because it is not really thinking about anything.
The purpose, okay, yeah. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Now, there's a clever sentence. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas is the first step to opening the way to vision. Just what we've talked about. The exercises for today should be done with your eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains, and pass on to the next. Introduce the practice period by saying, I seem to be thinking about. Then name each of your thoughts specifically. For example, I seem to be thinking about blank, fill it in, the weather, what I'm having for dinner tonight, or lunch today, or who am I going to see later today. So I seem to be thinking about blank, about, and name an object, about, and then name the emotion. So I seem to be thinking today about visiting a friend this afternoon, about and name, and I'm very excited at the thought of seeing this person again. Anything else you have to add?
No,
So
I seem to be thinking about whatever it is, whether it is an emotion or an object or a person, and so on, concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So I seem to be thinking about Bob, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day, unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying, 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. So you could fill it in with, I seem to be thinking about these lessons and about how they don't make any sense and about how I find this frustrating, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. And so just recognizing that I seem to be having these thoughts now, but actually my preoccupation is with the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. So I seem to be thinking about these things, but the way that I'm thinking about them is through the lens of the past.
Mhm.
So 4 or 5 times today is what is asked of us. And if you find it too irritating, 3 or 4 times is sufficient, and include anything that does irritate you. And so we're going to proceed into this with our eyes closed and just spending a minute or so thinking of these thoughts and recognizing that I seem to be thinking about whatever it is, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. And we'll be here for a minute. So there's our time. It's interesting because everything that's coming across my mind is, of course, from the past. When I'm in the present moment, I'm not thinking. I'm experiencing everything as it is.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yes. And I know that I particularly enjoy being in the present moment when I'm driving
Mm.
because I find it so beautiful how everything almost slows down into slow motion and the trees are going by and I'm seeing the trees go by, and being grounded in the present moment is, it almost makes you feel high because everything is out of the way and you're just experiencing instead of course, every thought in my head has some form of judgment attached to it because I am seeing only the past. So that is a given that it has to have a judgment on it. How about for you, Linda? How was that?
Well, I'm right in the oven right now. I have sweet potatoes, and I'm thinking, I mine went right to the past. Lisa used to make sweet potato fries. And so I'm going to right to the past, my sister with my sister, and how she would say, "Oh, come on over and have a meal with us. I'm going to do some sweet potato fries." And I know how much you love them. So right away, I'm triggered by a memory, a scent. I smell the sweet potatoes in my oven, and I'm drawn to the memory of the past.
And they say that we kind of negate the idea of the sense of smell having anything to do with memories, but they say actually that is the strongest form of bringing up memories is through the scent.
Through the
But
scent.
if you take a newborn baby and pass the newborn baby across 27 women, and this was a study they did, the baby will be able to find their mother by sense of smell. And that's so interesting. And of course, just like animals in the forest are, their sense of smell is what's alerting them to danger, to food, to a safe nesting place. And it makes complete sense that our sense of smell is, and it's also something we can't really control.
Yes.
We can't control how we're smelling. Um, that it's so deeply rooted in the memories that we carry with us. The scent of roses always brings up memories of my mom. That was her favorite scent. And whenever I smell roses, oh, that smells so good. And I'm sure to other people, like maybe my husband would judge it as, oh, stinks like flowers.
Yeah.
But for me, it conjures up a warm, loving environment. And so that's the feeling I have attached to that scent. So, so interesting. And, I seem to be thinking about roses, but I'm actually thinking about my mom and those emotions of love and safety and caring, and it all is the past.
Yes. Yeah.
So, so interesting that when I sit in the present moment, I'm not thinking about roses or my mom. Um, I'm experiencing everything around me with wonder, like a newborn baby, like a child looking at, oh, what's that? Oh, isn't that interesting? Look at everything. Everything seems brighter.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and when I clean the slate and my mind is clear, when I'm doing meditation, that's the one thing I love about meditation is that it brings me into the breath and into the present moment. And that's where the clean slate is. And the clean slate is filled with peace. So, and that's where infinite possibilities abide in that stillness.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Four or, well, we've just done one, so 3 or 4 more times today.
Uh-huh.
We will take the time, 1 minute, to look within our mind with our eyes closed and recognize that these thoughts that I seem to be thinking are actually the past.
Mhm.
I'll pass it over to you, Linda, to close us out.
All right, so let's just take a deep breath. And one of my favorite prayers is, thank you for this new day, O Lord, its beauty and its light. Thank you for my chance to begin again. And as I let go of the past, I live in the present moment. So deliver me from these limiting thoughts of yesterday. Today, may I be reborn. May I become more fully a reflection of thy radiance. Today, grant me strength, compassion, courage, and wisdom to see the beauty in myself and others, wisdom to anchor into this present moment, knowing the beauty of the presence is all there is. So as I anchor into the now, I simply release these words and I let go and I surrender to this beautiful divine energy. So with faith and trust, I let go and I let God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Oh, that was beautiful, Linda. Thanks so much. Everyone have a great day.
Have
Three
a
or
great day.
more 1 minute practice periods, practicing the presence and recognizing the past in everything I think I see. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow.